Hello, and welcome back to Lowdown, a show produced by the students at the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg. I'm Anaya Smith, and thank you for joining us as we continue to dive into all the cool things happening here at UCM. Speaking of, we'll go to the studio with a photography student, find some all-natural products here at a local downtown boutique, and get the campus's perspective on the early snow.
Almost 7 years ago, we got into the live remote broadcasting realm at the time was our Department of Communication. And the equipment that we purchased is going on about 7 years old. And so I put together two proposals, and one of them was for this complete trailer system. And so that's what we got.
It's a very long list of new equipment we have. So the TriCaster is the heart and soul of everything we do. It's basically the brains for the entire production. Everything runs through it, and from there, that's how we send our product over different web streaming services that we provide. We got a new 3-play replay system, which allows us now to bring 4 different camera inputs and use them as replays for use in our broadcast, where before we were only stuck with one angle we had to choose before the game, and so it wasn't as it wasn't as engaging, and it wasn't as real world as it should have been. New robotic station, audio equipment, new video shading equipment. The cameras themselves, they actually now have to manipulate focus in one hand and audio in the other, whereas before everything was done for them. They just had to zoom a little bit, pan left, pan right, but they never had to worry about focus and moving with the camera, and now they have to get that experience live during a football game, a basketball game, things like that. Obviously the space itself, I mean, being able to house all of these people inside of a 24-foot trailer as opposed to cramming everyone in a 12-foot trailer where it wasn't insulated, so on a hot game everyone was melting inside, or if it's a cold game everyone was freezing inside. So now it's more comfortable. It gives us some room to breathe, and it gives them that experience to really stretch out and learn each position as we go through the semester.
The trailer itself enhanced the broadcast experience because that's what your ESPN, your Fox Sports Midwest, those types of places use trailers. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit grander than what this is, but the concept is the same. And so we're putting the students in what we can provide as the most real-world, hands-on experience that they're going to have in any college in the region. So I think that's what the trailer has kind of brought to not only our program but the university as a whole, because it puts us on the next level for recruiting, and so it's just something that, you know, the trailer itself is a great sales pitch, and it lets students know that our administration wants to invest in them. You know, we're not here to just take money from you. We want to give you the experience for that money. And so I think our administration has done a fantastic job in paving the way of learning to a greater degree. We want to give you those tools that you need to succeed, and this is one of them.
It has taken our broadcast standard to a different level, to a higher level, where I'm not going to say before I was accepting of a lesser product. I still held a high standard with what we had, but now that we've got all this new equipment, now I expect the best. I mean, when we step into the show, everyone's on their positions, different spots on the crew. I expect everyone to communicate effectively. I expect everyone to just do their jobs to the best of their abilities. And although it is an intro class in the fall, the hope is that they take it into advanced in the spring and really be able to fine-tune their abilities and their craft at different spots. My hope in terms of the experience that the students get out of this is to be able to walk away from this university and wherever they apply, production-wise, be able to tell them, I've experienced working on a 3-play. I've experienced running robotic cameras. I've experienced working with scoreboard and live stat graphics. I can use a production level switcher to cut between different cameras and all the different elements of a show. I have communication skills to direct and produce games and lead a team. So it's all about giving them real world experience, giving them a more in-depth look at what it really takes to succeed in the live production realm. Because what we had before, it was a good taste, but it also wasn't what they were going to be using out in the field. So now it's really about giving them the actual experience they would be having.
I hope that the students gain lots of experience. I hope they gain resume material. And I hope that when they go out for an interview, they can discuss what it's like to be in a real world situation. I'm a firm believer in it has to go outside the classroom, and we have a great student body who embodies that idea of I can't just do what my professor's telling me in class, I need to do above and beyond. And so I want to make sure that I'm giving all the students the tools that they need to succeed.
Reporting here from Lowdown, I am Brendan Wade.
My name is Khalid Sheriff, and I major in professional photography. Photography is basically just taking photos, but to others it's more of like a storytelling element of capturing different points in time, freezing moments that they think are worthwhile and like they think are great. Photography is a way to, similar to film and video, to capture the past so we can view them in the future. But after my freshman or I think it started my sophomore year, they're essentially changing the program to where my current class is the last class they'll probably be doing it. 100% it's ending because due to lack of funding and also low enrollment in the program specifically, but it's essentially, don't quote me on this, but like it's getting like absorbed into the art department to where some of its classes are going to be designed as art classes, but that's like the major change that's going to happen to it. It's essentially the department currently is going to end in the year 2020, and then after the year 2020, the following semester, it's basically going to be rewritten and changed into a different department entirely. In regards to my department and how they view photography is they're very dedicated and passionate about what they do. Even though the department is essentially going to end very soon, I'm actually very fortunate to be a part of it because it has taught me pretty much like the business side that I've never really truly knew how to handle, like the industry. I knew nothing about how to successfully market myself outside of social media or like the techniques they use. I'm actually very let down that it's actually ending. I mean, I wish I could still go on because I feel there's always like two sides to photography to me. There's ones you actually just see the photograph as a photograph, and the other side is just basically they devote themselves to the process and like find the meanings, like why is this important. Even though it's ending, the professors themselves aren't really giving up. In every class you take, you learn a different aspect that teaches the overall whole of professional photography. In some classes you will learn the business side, in another class you'll learn the artistic side of it, and in another class you'll learn the technical side of it. You'll like learn how to do portraits in like studios and environments, we had a darkroom class which teaches you the history of photography. Every single one of my professors have influenced me in their own unique ways. Currently there's only 3 main professors, but each of them have their different unique styles, experiences, and knowledge they bring to the table. And out of every class I take, I not only learn the technical abilities of like what I need to do to get in the industry, or how to properly take a photograph. But they also teach me a lot of life lessons and like how to mentally prepare myself for the outside world, how to improvise, and other life lessons that will basically keep me succeeding as a photographer. The majority of people just think like if you have a professional camera, you can just click the button and it'll just be like this amazing photo. But it's much more than that. It's more technical. It's more constructive. You have the power to create it. A photograph should be a story, not just simply pointing a camera and shoot. It should have meaning behind it. It should have an intention behind it. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. And that's what the courses my department teaches me, is that I should be dedicated to taking photos and striving for trial and errors. If I fail, I fail, but I can learn from that failure to succeed again and make myself better. And a lot of people come in thinking taking photography classes is going to be like an easy A or something, but no, it's not. It's a lot of hard work, dedication, and if you can't cut it, you can't cut it. But with photography, you have to have the passion behind it, and if you don't have the passion behind it, you're just not cut out. My message to the aspiring photographers is to just keep moving forward and just keep trying, keep shooting, and experiment, stay dedicated, don't give up, even though some people say that photography isn't a profitable business. It's nothing to base your whole entire life off of. I mean, if you're dedicated to it and you know how the system works, you can be successful as a photographer. It's just that people see photography as just this dying art when we're just letting it happen, although we have the power to bring it back. People, if they want to be a photographer, they should keep at it, keep learning, try new things, and just keep shooting.
Reporting for Lowdown, I am Blake Proctor.
Today I'm interviewing people about the sudden snow on campus.
My opinion on it snowing this early in the year is I love snow. I think snow is beautiful, but I think it's coming a little bit early because then it's probably going to snow for a very long period of time. The snow makes it pretty difficult to go to school because I have to commute back and forth for 35 minutes, and so the roads can sometimes be really bad, especially here on campus. But besides that, it's not that bad. My favorite part about the snow would probably be the cooler weather, because I'm not a summer person really. I like it cold. So I would say the colder weather and like how beautiful the trees get when they're like covered in snow. Looks like a winter wonderland outside. I think for students that have to walk back and forth between dorms, it gets really cold, because even just me walking from my car to a building, I'm like almost freezing. And so the kids that have to walk that far of a distance are probably really cold, so they should probably wear heavier coats.
For students who commute, this is tough. Like this, right now, what's going on outside right now isn't too bad, but it's definitely could get worse, so it's definitely tough for some of those students. Personally, I'm from Iowa, so I'm pretty used to it, but I would much rather wait like a whole nother month for it to snow. It's a little bit too cold for me, so yeah. It's not too bad. Typically, the snow isn't so bad for the people who walk back and forth to campus, just because we have so many on-staff maintenance people who get the snow pretty clear. But yeah, it's just been my experience.
My favorite part about the snow is, well, as I get older, I don't really have a favorite part of the snow. It just causes more problems than fun, because the only cool thing about snow when you're little is to play in it. I don't really play in it anymore, so now it's just like I have to scrape it off my car. My shoes are going to be wet. You know, it's going to be cold outside. For the students commuting back and forth on campus, if you're driving, just be safe, make sure you look ahead what the road conditions are. And for the students that are just walking, same story, you know, check the UCM website to see if the sidewalks are going to be bad, and bundle up, just be prepared for anything that could happen. Commuters, have a blanket or something like that in your car just in case it breaks down, and just be prepared.
My favorite thing about the snow is just curling up and watching a Christmas movie and drinking some hot chocolate. I think it's a little strange that it's snowing this much in November, just because in recent years we haven't had that much snow at all, so for it to snow in November is really strange. I think it's a little unfortunate that a lot of the students have to drive through this, especially since a lot of professors who live in Warrensburg are canceling class and students are already on the road coming to class. So I do feel really bad for the students that have to drive here. I personally don't love walking from class to class in the snow, but I do know that it's something we gotta do. It's a little tough, but we gotta get through it.
Reporting for Lowdown, this is Hunter Hallbaker.
This week, I visited with Soul Song, a local business here in downtown Warrensburg, to learn all about the locally sourced and all-natural products that they sell. I spoke with co-owners Amy Crichton and Adonis Wright to find out more.
I'm from the area, or as much from the area as I can be. My dad's retired military, so we stayed here after he got out of the military, and I guess military people, our home is wherever we land. And so this has become a home for us, been here for a very long time, and really worked on the base for a long time and absolutely loved that life and loved that job, and made a decision probably about 6 or 8 months ago that I was ready to try something new and try a new adventure. And this is something that I've always wanted to do, opening a small gift shop. One of my favorite places in the world is Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and there are all kinds of these neat little gift shops. And so over the past 20 years or so, going down and walking through those shops, it's always been a dream of mine to bring a little shop like that to Warrensburg, Missouri, and something local.
I am originally from Nashville, Tennessee. I came here in 2014 when I was in the military. I was active duty Air Force. I got out of the military in 2017. By that time I was engaged, and so I was planning to stay in this area. So Amy has been here for maybe 30 years or so. Her dad was in the Air Force, so this is home to her. So this was the obvious place for us to open the shop because we live here.
So we've got all kinds of natural handmade products here at Soul Song, and things also that are locally made that we're very excited about. And so one of the items, for example, I'm going to show you is some of the Kronhart Farm soap. This is all natural products, and she, as you can see, is an artist. I'm going to pull out, this is her Army Man soap. They smell amazing too. She has little gingerbread, Christmas time, beautiful cupcakes. The work is just absolutely beautiful. People always ask us, is this actual soap that you can use? And the answer is yes.
The cupcakes. I saw some on Facebook and I thought they were super cute, and we wanted to make them, and they are a huge hit. We sell a ton of cupcakes. This one is orange spice, this one is apple and cinnamon. These are seasonal. We try to do them by the seasons. Right now we're doing our fall stuff. We've started on Christmas. The soap started out as a FFA project for my 16-year-old daughter. She brought home dairy goats. We had tons and tons and tons of beautiful, rich, gorgeous milk. So that summer, the kids had to learn what to do with all this milk. So we did ice cream, butter, farmer's cheese, mozzarella, and the soaps were the last things we learned. It started out as a Christmas gift for family and teachers, and then by January, everybody was calling, wanting more. And it just kind of took off from there. My best seller is this one. We make it in the memory of my dad. We call it bulldozer soap because it's originally made with soap from my dad's favorite milk cow. It is now made with only goat milk soaps along with the rest of our soaps. All our soap is goat milk based. There's no water. Our main ingredients are olive oil, coconut oil, and tallow, which is really rich and nourishing to the skin, and it has a really rich, thick lather. I have to talk about this one. My daughter had to come up with a FFA project this year, and she designed and made this soap, and part of the proceeds go back to our military. So that is her project for the year.
I have been watching the construction happen throughout the summer, and so as soon as they opened, I wanted to come in and see what it was. I was really intrigued, and as soon as I came in, the owner pointed me to her fragrance table, which I love perfumes, and it was awesome because I have actually been wearing oil-based perfumes for a few years, but I have to order them online, so you don't always know what they smell like. And so now I have a spot here, local, right down the street from where I live, and I can come in and get all kinds of different scents, and it's inexpensive, and they come in really nice roller ball bottles, and it's just really nice.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Anaya Smith.
Are you interested in becoming a part of the Spotlight team? Well, here's more information about Spotlight and one of the many events that they host.
My name is Taylor Kemna. I am the Rec and Leisure Coordinator for Spotlight, which means I plan all of the daytime activities like the one we're having today. Spotlight is a student organization that takes student fee money and puts on different events throughout the week and throughout the semester that students can come to completely free and hang out and try different things and things like that. That we have, if you want to join that, we have our VIP meetings every Thursday at 4 o'clock in Union 217. You can come and we usually hang out. You can help us prepare for events and also tell us any ideas that you have for events so that we can put them on and get what the student body really wants. The event we have going on right now is the Ultimate Blowout Show. What it is we have a bunch of PS4 games, Wii U games, and Xbox 360 games that people can come and play on big screens and have tournaments with their friends. We also have the opportunity to create your own music video from a long list of songs where you and a group of your friends can be projected in front of the original music video, and then they will burn it to a CD and you can take it home with you. My favorite game going on right now is the new Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. I really like Mario Kart growing up as a kid, and I do not have the new system, so I like being able to play this game and race on new tracks with my friends. Our future events coming up is the lip sync battle on November 13th at 8 p.m. in the Union, and we'll have a bunch of groups competing with different lip sync categories in order to win cash prizes. We have Turkey Bowl next week, and what that is you come to the Union, you get to bowl for free, and if you bowl a turkey, then they give you a turkey to take home, or you have the choice to donate it back to the community so that somebody can have a turkey on Thanksgiving. We also have UCM Bonfire on November 27th, and that's over at the Crossing where we can make s'mores and play a bunch of like volleyball and other yard games and all hang out and kind of relax for the end of the semester. Then we have Hidden in Plain Sight on November 14th at 3:30 in the Union, and what that is a lecture series on human trafficking and how we don't always realize that it could be happening literally in our city or in our state, and it's more common. And then at the very end of the semester, we always have our Fun Before Finals, and that will be in the rec center, and it's the theme this year is traveling the world, and we'll have a bunch of games and activities centered around different parts of the world so that people can come out and have a good night before they start finals week. If you're interested in joining Spotlight Exec, we currently have applications open until Friday, but if you get an application in later, they won't be doing interviews until mid next week, but that can put you on the board where you can have a big say in the events that go on and plan them and put them on for all of campus for next spring. This event will be until 6 p.m. tonight in Union 240. You can come out with a bunch of friends or just yourself. You can always have a good time. For events, we try to not have them every single year unless they are extremely popular. That way that they don't get worn out. But depending on the feedback we get from students and how they feel about this event and if they want to see it again, we'll definitely try to have it in the next year, year and a half if it's something that students want to see back on campus. We use a lot of Pinterest and we look at other colleges and events that they do. Some of us are just try to be extremely creative in the events that we have. It just depends. We also try to get student opinions on the type of things they want to see on campus, which is a big part of coming to VIP, so that you can tell us what you want to see. That way we can start planning events accordingly. But it's mainly just a lot of Pinteresting and trying to make one small idea into a much bigger event for students to come and enjoy.
Reporting for Lowdown, this is Hunter Hallbaker.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have this evening, but never fear, the show in its entirety and individual segments can be found online at our KMOS TV YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Anaya Smith. Good night.